Hello, this is Sharon Hurley-Hall of Get Paid to Write Online, and today I'm going to talk about an essential writing tool, your Client Questionnaire. Now, sometimes my clients are surprised that I seem to know exactly what they need, but that's often because I ask them a lot of questions. For me, there's no shame in asking clients questions so that I can get the information I need to provide a good service for them. So one of the key tools that I use for that is my Client Questionnaire. This is a simple 2-page form that I put together, taking the best available advice on creating a client questionnaire. And once I'd done that, I tailored it to my own client's needs. The very top of the questionnaire has contact information for my client: their name, company name, email address, web address, phone number or Skype ID. I also ask them to identify the best way to contact them because, some people are phone people and some people are email people and some people are Skype people, and you get a much better client relationship if you contact people in the way that they are most comfortable. The other thing that I ask them is about identifying the time zone that they are in, because it would get a client relationship off to a really bad start if I called them and it turned out to be 2 a.m. Don't you agree? So this is important information that I need to have. Then my questionnaire has a little section that I call Company Background. This is where I ask potential clients to tell me about the company in a few sentences. It's kind of like the elevator pitch for what they do. Then I want to know who their typical customer is and how their business solves the problems that their customers have. Sometimes clients have never thought about these things in those terms, especially if they are just launching a website. But it's a good thing to make them think about before you do any writing for them. After all, if they can't identify what they offer to their clients, how are you going to do it as a writer? Then I ask for a few words and phrases that describe how customers should see the client's company. And then I ask them to differentiate themselves from their competition, to identify who they are and to say how they are different. And finally, in the company background section, I ask for the words that people might type into a search engine in order to find that company. This may be information that they already have through their analytics, or it might be more of an aspirational thing. So that gives me a little background to work with, and that's very important because I want to know how the client wants to be seen and whether I can tap into that in creating content, because although we are writing content for clients to attract their customers, we are also writing content that our clients have to love. They are our customers, and by using some of these words and phrases, we can help them fall in love with the content while telling the story that they want us to tell. The next section is a longer section that talks more about the product. It lets me know what kind of content the client specifically needs. It might be an article, a blog post, a press release, the about page. I also ask for a target word count and give them a typical range for an average blog post or web article. Then I ask them to state who they are hoping to reach and what they want them to do as a result. Maybe they want them to download a free offer. Maybe they want them to buy something, or maybe they're sending them to a particular landing page. All of this is important information if I'm to do the best job possible for them. I also want to find out where they're planning to use the content. It might make a difference whether an article is being written for a company's own blog, in which case you might adopt a chummy insider's tone, or is meant to be ghostwritten and provide them with some professional publishing credentials, in which case you might take a more professional tone. To add to that, I ask whether they want their content in the third person, in the first person, whether they prefer it to be formal or more conversational. And I ask for examples, because sometimes clients have seen something that's really nice and they think to themselves, I'd like something like that for my site. If they can provide those examples as professional writers, that gives us a lot to work with. I continue the project section by asking about what the client considers most important about the project, because clients may have multiple goals, but there'll be one thing in particular they're trying to target. And it's also important to know if there's anything they're trying to avoid. The next section deals with communication. How often they need updates, how they want the work delivered as a text file, a Word file, an HTML file, a PDF file, whether they want it in US English, Australian English, Canadian English, UK English, when they actually want it, what the deadline is, and who the ideal contact person is, because this is not always the person who makes the initial email contact. In one particular case, I was writing for a particular site, but I needed to speak to someone else in order to get the technical information that would make the article work. And then there's a catch-all section for any other project details that the client wants to give me. Finally, I ask about the budget for the project, find out how they plan to make payment, and add payment terms and work for hire terms at the bottom of the questionnaire. That means there's no understanding about how we are working. This questionnaire saves a lot of time when working with clients, and then I can follow that up by putting all the information I have into an email which basically serves as our contract. That way we're both on the same page when it comes to what they want and what is being delivered, and I have something in writing. So I would urge you to put together a client questionnaire of your own and to use this to get good information from your clients, which will help you do a better job for them. I hope you found this tip useful. This is Sharon Hurley Hall of Get Paid to Write Online. Thank you so much for listening.